Hey guys, what's up? Daffy here. As you can tell by now, I'm starting a tutorial series, so hope you guys enjoy this. At the end, if you guys want to leave a like, that would be dope. And if you guys have any suggestions for any other tutorials whatsoever, let me know. If you see anything that I do or someone else does that you want to know how to do, I could probably set it up for you guys. First things first, in your materials right here, the softbox, don't touch it. It's for the Lightroom I have, and right now there's no text. All you're gonna do is click on the screen, scroll out, and we'll go up to MoGraph, Text, and there we have our text. And we'll drag it right where this box and circle is, kind of in the middle like that, because these are lights and they'll shine on your text and make it all look sexy and everything. So just leave those the way they are. Zoom back in like I already have. Select your text, and what I like to do for my text is I like to have my depth at around 75. It's just how I like it. People usually go 100, but I find that's a little too long for me, but it's your choice. And then I like to bring my height down to 100 because a lot of the fonts make the text look bigger. Center this a little bit. Then go to your fonts. And the font I'm going to use is called Vermin Vibes. It's spelled V-E-R-M-I-N space V-I-B-E-S. You could probably find it on DeFont. With some letters, there might be holes in it, so if you go to bold, it'll get rid of the holes. Just a tip, so in case you guys are wondering why your text has holes in it. I think it does it with like R and some other letters. But for this, I'm gonna have Daffy because I'm awesome. So there we have Daffy. We have this cool text, and so what I like to do, kinda to make it look all snazzy and good looking, is I like to go over to my caps, turn on a fill cap on both ends, and I like to make it about the steps 1 and the radius 1.5 on both of them. And it has this smooth, nice, sharp outline. Not too big, not too small. Just, I think it makes it look nice. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna duplicate this. So you go Control-C-V, which duplicates your text, and then for this second set of text, we're gonna turn it back just to caps. And what this does is when we go to our coordinates and we bring it out a little bit, you'll see the white line. Just bring it out to about -3 if you've left your text the way mine is. It should pop out a little bit, and the reason why we're doing this is I'll show you in a second, but first we're going to make our materials. So you're going to go File, New Material, you're going to get this blank material. We're going to double click, and for this we're going to make a nice black grungy material. So bring all your red, green, and blue all the way down to 0. And we're going to add a small luminance on it, about 3%. And then we're going to add a reflection, and we're going to bring that down to about 10%. And then we're going to add an environment, and that will be all. Actually, we might add a little fog. Let's see how it looks. 10%, just something small. No, 5. Okay, screw the fog. We're not doing fog. So just go ahead and exit out of that, and take that black material and put it on to the smaller text without the caps. And that will make our text. That'll make the inner text black, and then we'll still have the caps around it. So we're gonna go File and make another material. Double click, and this one, with this material, you're gonna make it any color you want. The color I'm gonna use is a nice cyan blue. Just because, oh, I'm not selected. Make sure you select color first before you do that, because or else it just doesn't work properly. I'm gonna have it around 200 to 255. And then I'm going, oh, I forgot something, but I'll come back to that later. You're going to go do reflection first, and we're gonna make it 10% again. And we're gonna add an environment. And actually, I'm gonna make this a little bit darker. Make it about 165. 165 looks good. Alright. So add the reflection in the environment, and we should be good for that. But one thing I forgot to do on the other material that I'm going to do for this one too is right click on the material picture itself and go down to object soft shadow. And basically what this does is it doesn't, like with shadows and everything from your text and with all the render settings, with just basically how it works is it makes it so the shadow isn't too intense and it cleans up your texture more. So we're going to go into our black and we're going to right click on the picture and go soft shadow. And then we're going to take our blue or whatever color you have and we're going to put it on our other text. So now you can see, without rendering it, you can see how it's kind of like the middle is black and the edges and all around it are blue. So we're going to center that and we're going to render it out quickly and see what it looks like. Starting to look nice and good and sexy. That looks beautiful. So I like how it looks right now. So we're gonna go to our render settings, and what we're gonna do is go to save. And with these render settings, do not change them. You have global illumination is basically like if the sun's there and stuff, it brightens everything up and basically it allows it so your lights do the work and not just a random light everywhere. Ambient occlusion is your shadows. Lens effects is cleaning up your render, and same with object glow. But so just stay on save, go to save, and then click three little dots all the way to the right. It should be under file. We're going to click that and we're going to choose where we want to save our render. So I'm going to save mine to my desktop as tutorial. And we're going to hit save, and then we're going to exit out of that, and then we're going to go to our middle button here, and that's our final render. So it might come up with an error. If it does, just hit OK. It's just the way the Lightroom is. The guy before who made the Lightroom had other plugins and textures that we don't have, and it doesn't matter. Wait for this to render out, and that looks good to me. So we'll exit out of that. If you want to save it, you can go File, Save As, and you can save your project of what you made. I'm not going to. I'm just going to exit out. And I do not want to save, and I'll get rid of that. It does. If you ever get those folders that they say alum or whatever, what do they say? Yeah, alum or whatever. Ignore them. It's just from the render. You can just go and delete them. I'm gonna drag this into my tutorial folder, and we're gonna double click and check out our sexy render. And that is all I have for the Cinema4d part of this tutorial. I will come back with a Photoshop part of it. That'll be part 2 that you guys will see. There will be a link in the description for that. And one thing I didn't cover is that the Lightroom and the pack that I'm going to be using for the tutorial, both links will be in the description for you guys. So hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and make sure you watch the second one. See you later.